Hey there guys, it's Metro and welcome to yet another leveling challenge, and this is one that I've actually been getting more and more intrigued by the day. It's what some people might call the Nomad Leveling Challenge. Some other people are calling it the Mountain Man Leveling Challenge. I'm going to go through a little bit of it, but basically it's obviously you're not using any heirlooms, but most of the basic stuff with some small twists here. Okay, the first thing we're going to actually do is delete our hearthstone. That is going to be one of the things. We're not able to take flight paths, no hearthstones, no portals, no flight paths, nothing like that, no quick travel. So we're going to travel the entire world like if it's a continuous world. We're also, as you see, going to use the no mini map and the no quest thing feature like we do on the challenges that me and Cobb have been doing and some of the other stuff that we've been doing together. The main thing though is no quest reward gear, no gear that you don't obtain yourself. That's the main thing that you want to be seeing in this challenge is anything you get, you got yourself. So any BOEs, any items out in the world that I might find are going to be up for use. And anything I craft. That's going to be the main thing, and that's the main reason why I'm interested in doing this challenge is because I really like the idea of actually crafting gear that I'm going to wear. So I'm going to start with a Warlock. It's a character I don't actually have at 120. Maybe I'll get it to 120. I don't really know. Obviously, it's going to take a really long time, but someday I would like to have a Warlock at 120. And I think the best profession set for this is going to actually be enchanting and tailoring, because especially with the mini-map off, blacksmithing and mining is pretty tough, but you're just going to be getting a ton of cloth and a ton of things to DE the way we're going to be playing this. So we'll go through some of the other stuff real quick, but yeah, you're only allowed to equip items that you find, basically. No quest rewards. We're not going to be using any of those. No dungeons. We're not going to be doing any dungeons or any really grouping. Eventually, we might do party sync if we get that far. But there's some other things like, deleting your hearthstone. We did that. No using the auction house. Delete your character when you die. We're not going to do that because obviously I want to level this character. Doing like RP and stuff like that. We're not really going to do that, but of course, we are using add-ons like immersion, etc. And like we said with the map and the mini map and stuff like that. But yeah, the big thing is no flying, no hearthing, no quick travel, and no quest gear, nothing like that. So we're going to see. I hope that we'll get something done with the professions, but just wanted to give a little preamble and we'll get started. I've done this zone a lot, so I'm not really going to pay too much attention for it. But obviously, it's a timeless zone. I love Durtar. I think it's one of the best zones that, really all the starting zones have something near to your heart. But normally you'd see on the map it tells you what to do in case you haven't seen our other quest challenges. We are not using any type of assistance from Blizzard's end. So no quest helper on the actual map, no mini map to show you exactly where to go, nothing like that. It's actually really interesting. It's like a whole new video game. It really is. I can't stress enough how different it is and how the game plays so differently without a mini map. Really, especially the big thing is the mini map. It's pretty nuts, honestly. So we are using a small amount of add-ons. Plater, as you see, is on the screen. I guess I'll just keep that personal resource bar up just in case. Normally I would turn that off and use weak ores instead, but I don't actually have weak ores, details, nothing like that on. I'm trying to go as basic as possible with this character, but I do like the idea of an Orc Warlock. Actually, me and Cop, when we were living together, I noticed how cool some of the Orc Warlock stuff looks. And after BFA, I think they got a lot of really cool new spell animations, so I've never really played a Warlock. A very unlikely chance that I'll get this character to 60 and get this character to 120. But on the off chance that I do, I might as well have it going. I actually have some ideas to do this with a lot of different classes. I'd love to do this with one of every armor specialization, because I do feel like one of every armor specialization really changes the way this challenge might present itself. Like, for example, as a clothy, it's going to be pretty straightforward. I'm only going to ever be able to wear cloth, and we'll find the treasures. Another main thing I want to do is look for treasures. I have these add-ons, so that I'm using that add-on. Might seem like a little overboard, but I want to know where the treasures are. So we'll be looking a lot of stuff for treasures, and rares are going to be giving us a lot of the gear we're going to be doing. Looks like I think we missed a quest anyway. But yeah, so the main thing is if we had, say if we were using a plate class, well, we'd be able to wear all different types of gear. And I actually tested this. You still do gain, it's still beneficial to wear like cloth gear as a paladin over nothing. It's still actually better to do that. So I thought that would be really interesting if I leveled, say, a paladin. We actually tested this out last week, but I didn't save the recording just because I didn't think I would continue with it. But yeah, potentially leveling a paladin as holy, 1 to whatever, actually really feels fun, especially because it plays kind of like old WoW paladin, where you're pretty much just auto attacking and using very few abilities. Not that that's necessarily the most fun thing, but I think it would be interesting to see a leveling challenge progress that way. You know, especially as a plate, the thing is you'd be getting a lot of gear that you might wear, but that wouldn't be optimal, but would still be better than nothing. So I do want to see how it's going to progress as a clothy. I think clothy might end up being the easiest thing because everything you get is, you know, not like BOEs and stuff are cloth specific, but everything that you get that's relevant is going to be equipped. There's not going to be anything that you have. Like, the reason I'm saying that is because, you know, if I had, say, a mail item with better stats than a plate item, I might actually put it on in that context. Or a better example, probably a cloth item with better stats than a mail item, I might put that on, you know, something like that, depending on how the stats look. But, you know, especially with the profession situation, tailoring and enchanting are just going to be, frankly, kind of free. We're going to get a lot of cloth on our way up, and we're going to be using it to craft a lot of gear. And I'm actually excited about that because there's a lot of interesting tailoring stuff that you can do in early World of Warcraft. And I probably will stick at level 60, you know, the party sync. So what I have these visions, and they're never going to play out, but just in case they do, my goal is to get the character to 60 and then, you know, spend some time continuing to craft gear, basically get what I would consider a very satisfactory set of level 60 gear, and then take that level 60 gear into TBC and Wrath content, and maybe even further than that, maybe mob content as well. And then stop there, and that'll be it. Like, I won't use any of the gear from those zones. I won't, like, you know, any upgrades that come there, I probably won't even use, even if they're BOEs at that point. I'll just basically, you know, be another element of the challenge will be to level through mob zones with classic gear, effectively. You know what I mean? So stuff like that. I'm really excited about this because I would love to try again on, like I said, I'd love to try this on a Holy Paladin. I'd love to try this on a Shaman. I think an Elemental Shaman would be really fun as well. Taking leatherworking and, you know, skinning actually would be really good because you can pretty much skin everything that you would be fighting anyway. You don't have to worry about that. And, you know, the big thing is if I do pick a Paladin or something plate, you don't have a lot of plate options. In fact, blacksmithing might actually be better for a Shaman than leatherworking. I haven't really decided. I'd probably end up with leatherworking anyway just because I wouldn't have to take mining. The main thing we're talking about here is mining is just a huge pain when you have no minimap on. As much as I like having no minimap on, it does pretty much ruin mining. It's very difficult to actually mine when you have no minimap on. You have to know where the nodes are, and that's part of the fun, I suppose, but it makes it a lot harder than any other profession. But at the same time, that might be a counter to the challenge because obviously Paladin is going to have a lot more options for gear. They have a very, very overpowered PvP talent as well, and that could help balance things out. But I don't know. We'll see. Someday, I'd like to do this on Clothy. I'd like to do this on Shaman, and I'd like to do this on a Paladin, and maybe a Rogue as well. The main reason I would like to try it on a Rogue, but I'll probably, if I did play a Rogue again, it'd probably be me finishing up the Naked Leveling challenge that I started all those, however long ago that was. The main reason I want to try it on a Rogue again is because they could actually see, Outlaw Rogue can see the chests. Although it would be on the minimap, wouldn't it? Yeah, it would be, so I wouldn't actually see it. But either way, you can actually see the minimap. You can see them on the minimap as a Rogue, which is kind of cool, to be fair. Like, that might be cool enough just to try it, you know what I mean? Just to level with the minimap. So we'll probably, yeah, if we ever do that, we'll probably just finish leveling the Rogue. The Naked Rogue, because that character's like 61 or something like that, so I should definitely try to finish it. But, you know, Naked and this are very different. Naked Leveling Challenge is a much, much, much harder situation because you are naked, and of course some classes are very not good naked, and I wouldn't say Rogue is one of them. Honestly, Rogue is actually really good for the Naked Leveling Challenge. And I think, you know, Warlock would actually be pretty tough. Things like Marksman Hunter, Fury Warrior, some specs, they just have very low bulk naturally, and you have to do a lot of kiting and a lot of preparation. And if you do it wrong, you're going to die a lot. Whereas Rogue has a lot of outs, a lot of abilities to skip things. Makes it pretty easy to survive. But it's still fun because that's the whole like espionage element of it, honestly, is why I think I enjoyed it so much when I was doing it. It was actually really engaging to see, you know, how a rogue might kind of sneak by, sap, stun, blah, 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 all that. It's really good. I definitely got to find some time for that. Also still have the hunter that I was working on, but someday we'll finish those things. Just never have enough time for all this stuff, really. But anyway, so let's see. We're working on... I didn't actually turn that in. Should probably turn it in. Can't remember. It's been a while since I've done this zone, but I have done it a ton. I know every single quest in here, but maybe not the exact order they're going to happen in. If you watched me and Cop level together like this, you'll know that a lot of the times the difficulty of this is I have to actually constantly read the quests, pay attention to what they are, to know what I'm actually doing. Won't be doing that here in this zone, but eventually I will be. I'm sure at some point. I mean, that's if we make it that far in the challenge, but eventually that will happen. Actually, I'd really like to play Destro as well. Looks like you currently start as Affliction, which is fine. Affliction would be my second choice for sure, but I would really like to play Destro. I've been looking at Destro a lot, and I think I would enjoy it a lot out in the open world. And more so, they have an incredibly strong PvP talent. One of the big things I love about leveling is war mode. Having war mode on is probably the most fun thing about leveling at times, because not because of the actual PvP, but because you could actually take the PvP talents, and some of them are really, really fun. It's just like Ellie Shaman has some really fun. They have that channeled stun. It's really cool. Paladin, Holy Paladin has a really fun one. Couple of really fun options, and I'm just noticing now that Destro and Affliction have two really fun ones each. Destro's main one is that Chaos Bolt will no longer cleave with the Havoc ability or whatever, but it does like 65% more damage, which is insane, honestly. That would sound really attractive. And then I think Afflictions is whenever Unstable Affliction wears off, 10 seconds after that, you still do 10% more damage to the mob. So those sound really cool. They sound really powerful, and especially if, you know, we're in a situation where we're going to be relatively weak, we definitely want to have, you know, that sounds like that would be a great offset for that. So I do really like that. That's, you know, if you know me at all, you know that that's one of the things I love about challenges, is making things really difficult and then finding ways to overcome that difficulty. And obviously what we're doing here today is not really difficult, quote unquote, but it should still be difficult enough as a caster, especially because I'll probably never use the tank pet. I'm going to try to avoid that. I'm not sure what pet we'll do. I really like the Fell puppy, but the cool thing about Destro is I really love that Infernal. That's really what sold me on Destro, was seeing that Infernal. I have to say that's awesome. That it's a CD. It's not actually a pet, but it's really cool. I'd love to see that thing in action, and hope to get to that point. I think that's not till the 50s though. Okay, so we're done. Now we just need to awaken another peon. Oh, good thing that guy laid down right in front of us. How about that? I can do that. All right. Anyway, so yeah. So we do want to get to Destro. We'll get to that until level 10, I think. But if not, for some reason we end up playing Affliction, I'm fine with that. I don't actually know how any of this stuff works. Sub whatever level. I assume, you know, you're just going to put dots up. I don't think you even want to put dots up. Usually, in the old days at least, putting dots up like was just not worth it. Just cast into the mob. It's usually going to only take 2 or 3 globals to kill it. So the dot wouldn't even tick like for half of its duration. Yeah, 14-second duration. So that's typically the way you look at it. If the dot lasts longer than the mob is going to be alive, it's not worth using it. And almost every dot in the game is going to do that when you're this level. The real reason I'm leveling Orc Warlock, though, is because I've seen a Gul'dan transmog that I am actually extremely interested in seeing in-game. I don't have a Warlock. I don't have any Orc casters at all. Any Orc cloth wielders. I have Maghar, but they can't be Warlocks. So I definitely want to try to get that. I mean, that's going to be long ways away, but I would definitely like to try to get that. That sounds like it would be really fun. I mean, I've kind of grown really attached to some of these cosmetic ideas recently, so I wouldn't mind that at all, man. If this character got to 120 entirely with this Nomad Leveling challenge, and I was able to get a Gul'dan transmog on the go, that would be awesome. Like, so I'm not gonna limit myself to transmog. I'm gonna use the mount as soon as I get it. Like some of the things we did in the other challenges, I'm not gonna do. You know what I mean? I'm gonna try to level fast. I'm gonna try to, you know, do the zones as fast as possible. I'll probably repeat zones at some point, but it's mostly just, having the mini map off, not hearthing. I'm not gonna hearth or take any flight paths. Hopefully, I won't ever have to. I don't really know. I worry that some of these rules that sound interesting might actually be very difficult at times. Like if I did want to go to Wrath, I'm not actually sure, how to even get to Wrath. You have to take a Zeppelin, I'm pretty sure, but I don't know. Like, do I have to eventually use a Hearthstone? Do I have to eventually do something? I'll probably never get a flying mount as well, so that's probably going to hinder me in Wrath zones. The main reason I wouldn't mind doing like Wrath and TBC zones though is because it'd be interesting to see how the level 60 gear holds up. Like if I did get to TBC and stuff, I won't train TBC tailoring or wear any gear from that. It'll just be whatever I got at 60, like my best in slot, quote unquote, from 60 is what I'll wear for the rest of the challenge. But it makes me wonder how difficult it might actually be. But either way, I think I might eventually run into situations where it's actually so difficult I might not be able to continue, and then I might have to come back. But either way, what I was saying was I wonder if my mount will eventually hinder me, or my ability to hearth or something like that. I don't know how you even get back and forth between the continents without hearthing and portals and stuff. Like literally, I don't know if it would even be possible to go to Outland and come back. You'd have to fly. Try to think here. There's a couple things that are already on my mind. I can't seem to articulate them well, but yeah, you'd have to actually go through the Blasted Lands area every time. It'd be interesting. We'll see what happens. I'm not thinking that far ahead right now, but it's definitely something that I would like to see how it plays out. But anyway, so for this one, it's gonna be pretty short. I recording this late at night on a Monday after work. Just wanted to get it started, just so I could say I did the preliminary work, and then whenever I have free time, we'll continue it. It's going to be very informal, obviously, and again, I'm not going to publish anything until we're much, much further along in the challenge to show that I actually have done something. What else? Yeah, so we're going to just finish the Valley Trials area. We're almost halfway done, I think, already. Not too much left. But I like this area. I've always... It's down here. Can't remember. There's a dude by a tree, I know that much. I think it's around here somewhere. Yeah, I'm not actually sure when I could start using some of this Gul'dan transmog. I mean, there's a lot of really cool Warlock transmogs. Like, honestly, just the helm, like the tier 1 is really cool. Tier 1's really been growing on me. I sound like I'm a huge classic nostalgia fan, but honestly, like, there is a lot of nostalgia there, and it's really attractive to me for some reason. Like, I think I would rather, like, if it was between tier 1 and tier 10 for Warlock, I think I would take tier 1, even though it's obviously dated. Some of the stuff in the early days is just really nice looking, but I don't know when I could actually... Oh, it looks like I can just use it from level 1, so that's good. So that staff is obviously a big part of the transmog. I mean, it's literally Gul'dan's staff. If you're wondering where you get that from, you can't get it anymore. It's from the film. That film is long gone. I wish they'd make a second one, but sadly, I don't think they're ever gonna do that. Actually got the guy I work for / with, became a friend. He's a big fan of the Warcraft film. Surprisingly, I think a lot of people didn't like the Warcraft film. I never really saw it. I did watch it a couple times at work. It was on. Never start to finish, mostly because I just didn't want to be disappointed. I love this franchise too much to let like one bad egg disappoint me. And I knew when the movie was launching that a lot of people were already panning it before they even watched it. So I just kind of didn't want to even be a part of that. But now that it's well past, I don't feel like it's a problem. I feel like, it was actually generally favored. Like, some people did like it, so that's good. Did we actually turn this back in? Hanazua? Was that the guy that... Yeah, I guess that's the guy we got it from, right? Can't actually remember that. But either way, it must be. The next few quests are in that cave. And then that's it. And that'll be it for this one. Only about, what? 25 minutes, 30 minutes, something like that. But yeah, I do hope to just kind of put my shoulder to the plow. I don't know exactly, I'm not sure how energetic these sessions are going to be, because I kind of just want to do it. I typically, this would be something that I might not even record. But now that I found out all these kind of new features on YouTube about kind of putting content live without bothering, I don't know. I'd like to pump these out, and I don't want to just spam the channel and then people unsub and they get all confused. Why am I putting out like hundreds of hours of leveling challenges? Where's the Mythic Plus content? So I want it to be live and viewable on the channel, but I don't want to bother people with it as much. So I've actually found out how to do that. Also found out how to stream without, also again, same deal. So we'll probably be doing that a lot more recently. Already forgotten where this guy is. There he is. I also should send myself some Inky Blacks. I've been using Shade Scale a lot, and it's pretty cool. But Inky Black is just even better, I feel like, most times. So I've yet to get any gear. It's probably going to be a really long time before we actually equip anything. I guess maybe if we kill a rare, I don't know. But it's definitely going to be a while. I don't think we'll get anything in Duratar. I don't think there's a single green item in Duratar. We probably won't get anything until at least level 15 or something. So we'll be naked until then. And I don't know when. Do we get pets and stuff? How's that work? Level 5, we get an imp. Guess we'll keep the imp out, obviously. I don't know. Typically, when I do something like basically a challenge that's not naked, I try to have another layer of challenge. Like, for example, we did the Paladin. I would do it as holy. Play it basically like it's old ret, where it's just mostly auto attack, stuff like that. Pretty cool concept, but at the same time, yeah, it's still going to be pretty easy because you're going to be wearing gear. So it's the same concept here. I probably try to find some way to make it a little bit more challenging as we progress. But right now, I mean, there's nothing really you can do. Auto attack only, that would be about it. So we need to kill Fell Stalkers here. Now I'm pretty sure, can you still tame a demon or whatever? Not tame one, but you can like hold one. Kind of like Death Knight can get an undead. Pretty sure you can still do that. We might mess around with that a bit. That would be interesting. That might actually be something that we incorporate where we only use tame demons. It's going to be impossible because once we log out, it's going to go away. But if there's a demon in the zone, we might kind of basically we start the challenge session off with me getting the demon and then me keeping the demon the whole session. That'd be cool. We might try to do something like that. Also, I have these vagrancies of potential soloing dungeons. The idea would be to basically, get to like 70 or 80 and then come back and solo dungeons that I might need patterns from or something. I haven't actually looked at tailoring, to be honest. I looked at every other profession. Like I said, I was originally going to do this as plate. I looked a lot at blacksmithing. Blacksmithing is really interesting. I guess I'm lost. Blacksmithing is really interesting because there's so many different types of gear you can make for blacksmithing and weapons and stuff as well. That's why I actually want to do a paladin, because there's a lot of really cool weapons. I was actually originally going to do shaman as blacksmith and make two-handed weapons. That was going to be the challenge for shaman. I haven't decided if I'll do that or not, but either way, if I did do a shaman, I had this potential idea to do it as basically a leveling as enhance with two-handers, which is actually pretty fun. It doesn't actually make it that, like, you can use a lot of your spells still. Pretty much most of the spells are still usable. It's just like some of like Storm Strike you can't use. But yeah, you would have to make, well, I guess, you're going to get BOEs maybe. I don't know. The thing is, I don't think there's going to be any BOE rings. It's going to be very, very, very few of some items. Like almost none. So this is going to be interesting. We're going to see how this goes. I've never done something like this. It'd be interesting just to say I did it. But it's going to take a while. Especially if I'm already failing at these basic quests. I don't know what I'm missing. I thought the back of the cave, I thought this medallion. And then the pick as well. I guess maybe that somebody had killed the guy already. Well, luckily everything's yellow, so okay, yeah. The guy had been killed. Urog Bane Shadow. Oh boy. He's a dangerous looking guy. He's an Orc Warlock as well. He's got 106 health. Fell Immolate. I wonder if I can get the Green Fire. Green Fire is still in the game, right? I don't know, man. I've never really played a Warlock. I definitely, now that I'm doing this, I'm telling you right now, I'm regretting the fact that I did not get the Warlock Challenge Mode gear from MoP. That was one character that, Warlock wasn't the best in MoP. They're still not for 5-mans, but certainly was possible to get the gear. And I was just like, yeah, no, I would have had to level a Warlock to do it. I actually had a Warlock. He was like level 89 or something like that forever. A Goblin Warlock that I leveled when Goblins first got added to the game. Warlock's changed so much since then, but either way, the character I actually leveled to 93, I think. And then I transferred it to my second account so I could party sync with it. We'll see if I renew that account much. Now that I know you don't actually need a subscription to party sync, pretty easy mode. I probably won't renew it because the whole the reason I did that was so I could party sync the WAD, whatever they're called, the bonus objectives in WAD, and they are pretty valuable to be fair, but they're not that valuable. I don't know. It's still kind of gross because you have to actually kill all the stuff yourself. And if you're playing, like, for example, I was leveling that Dix Priest. Yeah, it gets pretty tough. There's a high density out there, and the mobs don't die that fast, so I don't know. We'll see. I still have a couple characters near max level that I would like to finish. I really should be prioritizing characters that I would actually do something with. Like, you know, a heritage armor or a character that might get a, you know, another, like, basically an allied race heritage armor, a regular heritage armor. You know, a character I might actually play. Realistically, I probably wouldn't play a Warlock at max level in like 5-mans or anything. But here I am doing it anyway, so I think this is the zone done. Let's see, get a couple messages coming in there. Anyway, yeah, so let's see. I think there's probably a couple more here. Can't remember. It's been a while since I've done this, but I know. We're almost done. Oh, we got our pet as well. I'm not really sure what I should do. Probably end up forgetting the pet's even a thing for a while. And we got a bag. Well, that's... Wait, did we? Dusty bag. Oh, it just automatic... Oh, that's interesting. You can't see because of the webcam, but it automatically goes into your bag. That's interesting. Okay, so yeah, now we're on our way to Senjin Village. So, I don't know. I guess we'll go a little bit longer. We'll go to Senjin Village and see where we're at. And then we'll end it, and we'll come back another day. But yeah, the main thing is just demonstrating that I've done it. I feel like that would be the thing. A lot of the challenges, quote unquote, I've started. I'm not doing them for entertainment purposes, even though I try to be entertaining. I'm not the most entertaining person, and I don't expect thousands and thousands of people to watch these. But it would be just I'm probably overly fascinated to the point where it's like near career suicide. Like if I spent this much time actually bettering my channel, like doing things that could help me improve on YouTube, I would probably be extremely successful. But I'm spending all this mental effort on these ideas. Like I have this picture of what the future looks like, and I could see like a year from now this channel just having playlists upon playlists of challenges, of things that are just, if somebody saw, they'd be like, oh my god, look at how much, like look at all this stuff, you know what I mean? Like I'd really like to try soloing all the dungeons, which I started. I'd like to try, you know, leveling characters in multiple ways. The Naked Challenge, obviously, we've started that many years ago. The classic zones, me and the cop thing, he and I have done together. That's well underway. The Heritage, the Nomad Leveling Challenge. I really like this idea. I think this might actually be a ton of fun. So, you know what I might do? I might actually get. See, I don't actually know where you can get professions. Alchemy trainer, so there's probably professions somewhere. The flight path. Oh, well, I shouldn't have even got that because I'll never use it. I have a feeling I'm going to accidentally break one of these rules at some point because no flight paths. That's why I deleted the hearth, because I have a feeling I'm going to forget. Ikamboka. All right, anyway, let's pick some of this stuff up. Let's see if I can at least find. I don't know. There might not even be one. Riding trainer. Well, 3 gold. That's going to probably be tough to get. I don't know. Let's pick the quest up at least. Someone called for the doctor? We need to find the trainers, though, because I don't know where they would be. Butcher. I don't think I'll pick up cooking. Cop's always on about cooking for these types of things, but I agree it would be good, but it's not going to be that difficult, I don't think. Like, I'm not going to need food, to be honest. Weapon merchant, general goods, trade supplies. Maybe there's just not a trainer for every profession here. It's probably not. You know, they're probably in the next area. Warlock trainer. Oh god. Freaking Halloween thing. It's pretty annoying. It's one thing that sucks about this zone is constantly getting that spam. Okay. I might actually run to the next. I just want to see if I can get the professions now, so I don't forget about them. That laugh. Classic. Yeah. Let's just run there and see if it's there. If not, we might run to org actually, and then that'll be the session. I just want to get everything set up today if I can. Like I got everything set up. Now I just need to. Oh, that's probably better than that. Put some. Wait, what? There we go. Yeah. I want to get the professions out of the way. Obviously, get the character set up. Get the UI straightened out and all that jazz. But yeah, if I was gonna do anything off stream, it would be level professions a bit. I don't plan on cheating, like sending money over or anything. But if there's some way I can get value from the profession without actually having to quest, I probably would exclude that. Like that's not important. I don't want to sit here for 5 hours and 4 of it be leveling tailoring. That's something I can just do whenever. But I'd have another thing about tailoring. I've heard that bandages are just really overpowered. Like now that bandages are part of tailoring, it's actually like the easiest profession in the game to level. So that's gonna be I guess that's a good thing. That was the other problem that I was worried about with Paladin, was how was I gonna get enough ore to craft stuff, but how am I gonna find the time to get enough ore to level the profession as well? That was the time when I was thinking about cheating. It's like, all right, I want to just level. Like ideally, it's stupid to say, but ideally the profession would just be max. Like I don't want to be messing around making stuff I don't want. You know what I mean? You wouldn't do that IRL. Like nobody does that. You know what I mean? No profession. It's like, all right, well, I'm gonna make like 30 pairs of boots. I'm just gonna destroy them after I make them. That's not what people do. This guy's flying by. He's 18 already. Goblin Hunter. So there you go, Goblin. Yeah. So I don't know. Hopefully people know this. I just talked to another person tonight, and they didn't know about Party Sync. They didn't know how these things scale. They don't know how any of it works. It's pretty crazy, man. Party Sync is pretty crazy. God, this again. That's pretty annoying. Not gonna lie. The Halloween event, I'll be happy when it's over. Well, I like it, to be fair. Halloween's cool. It's a good holiday, but in WoW, it's not the most fun thing. In fact, it looks like the town's on fire. I think I might just go right to org, just cause no idea. No idea where anything is here. I don't know. Maybe we can find it. It's probably, if there's a tailoring trainer, it's probably gonna be in the building. Usually tailoring trainers are in the building. Well, I think we will touch this bonfire though, because that's free experience I'm not gonna turn down. The goal isn't to level slow in these challenges. That's the thing. Everybody always, people might see me do things like I might, oh, I'm a spider. Even I might use a potion or two. I don't know. Like I just like to not level slow, but at the same time it be challenging. That would be my ideal scenario. Profession trainer? What? Tell me about gathering. Wait, what? Oh, that's interesting. Okay. Tailoring. Oh, train me. Wait, what? That's weird. You can just train every profession from this person? That's odd, I would say. Okay, let's sell all this stuff. I would say that is odd. Maybe you would disagree. That is really weird. So yeah, you can literally just level anything here. Wow, that is bizarre, man. When did they add this? That's really weird. Well, anyway, what else we want is it a gather? No, it's enchanting. So yeah, there we go. Okay, train enchanting. This freaking guy again, man. I think I'm really excited about enchanting though. I feel like enchanting is gonna be low key OP because let's put on our bars. I think it's gonna be really valuable because I'm gonna be getting a lot of items that I can disenchant, and I think, some of the stuff that I don't know. I don't know if I'm actually gonna get anything enchanting wise that's gonna help though. That's the problem. Like, look at that. Minor health increases health by 1. Yeah, I mean, that's not great, is it? But, you know, maybe eventually it's going to be good. We have to make a rune copper rod. Yeah. So the first thing you do is make that. We got to get a copper rod, though.
What are you looking for?
Might as well buy that now before we forget. I don't know. I've never actually leveled enchanting or tailoring before. This will be the first time I've ever done anything with these professions. But, yeah, that's going to be it. I'm going to head back to Senjin Village, and that'll be it for the night. But, yeah, it was good. Like I said, just want to get set up. So if this is live, if you've seen this video, then there is a lot more to watch. You can watch it if you want. You can watch it. You could not watch it if you want. I don't really care. I'm doing this for fun, honestly. And just, again, to have an archive of it, I have this grand, this delusion, really, in my head of just thousands and thousands of hours of challenges. And it's because I watch these other people. I've seen two people. I've been talking about them a lot over time. There's these people who do golf challenges. And they just have hundreds of videos on them doing golf challenges. In fact, it's even grown on. Apparently, just recently, I mean, this might date the video, but just recently, Tiger Woods participated in a golf challenge. He did a one club only challenge, which is like a pretty, I guess that's like that's like an Iron Man kind of thing, you know? It's pretty common. Everybody knows what that is. Pretty common golf challenge where you only use a single club during I think they only played one hole, but during a round of golf, you might only use a single club. So it's interesting, right? Certainly makes it a lot harder, but it might make it more fun for some people. So anyway, these guys take that ad infinitum, I don't know. They do it a lot, let's put it that way. So I've been watching them. But then I've also been watching people do Pokemon for a long time. That's the main thing. Pokemon challenges is the main thing. I've seen people do a lot of different types of Pokemon challenges. Obviously, you know, Nuzlocke, that's the famous one. But I've seen people do all kinds of stuff. In fact, I've seen a guy who literally, this is his job. He just does Pokemon challenges all day. This is his stream, is his whole career on YouTube and Twitch and everything. He just finds a game, he does a challenge, and he doesn't stop until it's finished. That's the thing that I really admire. And I hope to emulate, and I'm not going to because I fail so heavily at this. I always get my attention split. But I hope that once I get started on all these, I'll now with the, you know, the way YouTube has worked in my advantage, I can now just do this without feeling like I'm detrimental to myself. But anyway, this guy just basically just shoulder to the plow. It'll take him 19, 20 playthroughs before he finally finishes the game. But it's on the list. He's got a list of all the things he's completed, and it's got a little check mark next to it. And man, I have to tell you, seeing all those little check marks next to 20-some different challenges, seeing that, looking at that where it says Dark Rising 2 Nuzlocke, 60 attempts, but it's got the challenge. It's got the check mark on the challenge. You know what I mean? It's like, man, that's badass, dude. That dude tried 60 times before he finally did it. Now, this is a different kind of challenge. This is more of a marathon. It's not really going to be difficult to finish. It's just going to take forever. But anyway, that's going to be it for today. So thanks for watching. I hope to see you in the next one.